Hey, good evening, USA, International Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, your host with the most misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, YouTuber, creator, and of course Queens, New York native from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York, who's also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you're now rocking with me by tuning in, listening, streaming, and watching the 406th episode of Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, live and direct from StreamYard and the comfort of my room of the comedy space, and of course YouTube. And in case you guys want to level up on your live streaming, and whether you are live streaming and gaming, whether you have a podcast whatsoever, all you need to do is go ahead and go to www.streamyard.com and set up an account. You can use your email address, you can use your podcast email address, so that you can get a $10 um discount. All right. All right. So if you missed any episodes whatsoever, please feel free to actually catch up on YouTube, subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified of when I'll be on the air via live stream, video uploads, all that great stuff right there. And for the most part, for the most part, for the most part, into for the most part, I want y'all to, prepare yourselves for another heat wave. We got another heat wave coming up, starting tomorrow through Saturday. So I hope y'all have your water, your air conditioners, and everything else ready, so you don't have to worry about doing too much sweating. Which is why I had to take. This is why I had to take a shower today, because I ain't want to take. I don't want to do it while the heat wave is going on. So it made sense for me to do that. But anyway, make sure y'all have your water with you, your Gatorade with electrolytes in case you, yeah, and and also if you are a hardworking person that's doing deliveries, whether it's Instacart, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, and everywhere else, I hope y'all be careful out there. Be careful out there, with this heat wave, um, and be safe out there. All right, all right. I'm gonna cut to the chase with this: the New York Mass Transit Files. Let's get this show started. All right. What do you say we go into some transit news? And we're gonna start off with this story. So apparently there was an attack on the 6th train. This one has to be the most common stories that I ever heard about people getting attacked. Now, with this one, this was last week actually. So here's what's happening. According to AMNY, um, Isaiah Thompson, age 29, is scheduled to appear in court Wednesday to face charges related to the brutal slashing of a train conductor on a 6 train in the Bronx last month. The incident which occurred on June 10th at the Whitlock Avenue station in Foxhurst sparked anger among the local transit union and raised renewed concerns about public safety. Thompson is suspected to be arraigned at Bronx Supreme Criminal Court, according to the transit, the Transport Workers Union, which is TWU Local 100. The hearing follows the court's previously scheduled arraignment on June 17th, which was postponed. Damn, this is crazy. Wow. This is terrible. All right, let's continue. So, Tremel Thompson, vice president of the union, said the city needs more laws to protect both transit workers and riders. In quote, our sister was viciously slashed, he said. When he insulted our sister, he assaulted all of us. She's not doing well. Now, every day when she wakes up with a scar, she will be reminded of what happened to her at Whitlock Avenue. We have to hold our politicians accountable. We need stricter laws on the books. There needs to be a mandatory minimum for an attack on any city worker. Police nabbed Thompson at his brother-in-law's house in the Bronx, within the confines of the 43rd precinct, just a day after the attack, charging him with 7 counts of assault, 2 counts of menacing, and criminal possession of a weapon. But wait, there's more. According to the preliminary reports, the 36-year-old MTA employee was on a 6 train in Foxhurst, making service announcements and attempting to close the train doors when Thompson allegedly came up to her and using what police described as a sharp object, slashed her face on the left side of her nose below her left eye. Injured and bloodied, the victim called for help as Thompson fled the scene. EMS brought her to St. Barnabas Hospital, where she was treated for her injuries and released. TWU members will likely appear in court to support the victim. Meanwhile, Thompson from the TWU said the MTA unfairly holds workers responsible when they engage in self-defense, and the transit authority wants to punish us when we decide to defend ourselves, he said, further saying that when transit workers try to counter an attack, they are subjected to discipline. AM New York AM New York contacted the MTA for comment on the story and is awaiting a response. This is crazy. Um, let's see. In other transit news, we gotta talk about the e-bike. We gotta talk about the e-bike scenario here. City officials said on Thursday that they are giving new e-bikes and batteries to new delivery workers in NYC as part of a safety program to reduce fires tied to micro mobility devices. NYC Department of Transportation Commissioner Edonis Rodriguez explained that delivery workers who turn in unsafe devices will receive a new safety certified e-bike and 2 new lithium ion batteries free of charge. Rodriguez said more than 400 e-bikes and batteries will be given out over the next several weeks. Before getting the new equipment, recipients will be required to complete an online safety course. That's interesting. End quote. I want to be clear. As part of this course, we expect all delivery workers to ride at 15 miles per hour as per the decision Mayor Eric Adams and the city has made to reduce the speed of e-bikes, Rodriguez said. We encourage all the food app companies from DoorDash to Uber and others to do their part to not put the pressure that they put on delivery workers that they have to go so fast to deliver food to our apartments. Delivery workers can sign up online for the program at ebiketrade.nyc.gov. The program's goal is to keep e-bike riders and communities safe. According to the FDNY, 110 fires and 25 injuries caused by faulty lithium ion batteries have occurred in NYC to date in 2025. FDNY Chief Robert Tucker said there have been no fatalities this year due to e-bike batteries, while there were 18 deaths and 150 injuries from the devices in 2023. In quote, the numbers are trending in the right direction for sure, especially when it comes to deaths, but there is still tremendous work to be done, Tucker said. This is an issue that's not going away. We know that micro mobility devices are part of the future of NYC. Tucker added that the trade in program is a creative solution to help protect the public by removing unsafe, uncertified batteries from NYC streets. But he added that fires can still start regardless of whether they are certified. Fires can Fires can even start when the batteries are not actively charging. All right, so data collected in 2023 showed that nearly 60% of fires by lithium ion batteries were caused by batteries that were not being charged at the time, he said. Tucker gave safety tips, advising New Yorkers to follow manufacturer guidelines to not to purchase illegal aftermarket batteries. Look for UL certification stickers and charge e-bikes outside if possible. The $2 million trade-in program was established in response to local law 131 of 2023, sponsored by NYC Council member Keith Powers. Representatives from the Workers' Justice Project, which advocates for immigrant workers in the city, said they support the initiative. In quote, Workers' Justice Project applauds the NYC Department of Transportation for this historic, first in the nation achievement in providing safe and certified e-bikes and e-batteries for the city's app delivery workers. Legia um, J- Legia Guapa, WJP's executive director and co-founder of its Lost Deliver Deliveristas UNIDO campaign, said. Today demonstrates what is possible when workers organize for their safety and rights and find true partners in city government willing to demonstrate that centering worker safety can drive cutting edge innovations to meet transportation needs. All right. All right. So let's okay. I want to talk about what happened with the floods in Texas and the one in New Mexico, which was pretty devastating right there. Um, so let's we're gonna get into it right here. We're gonna get into it right here in this segment right here of chatting all the jazz, and of course, over 100 people in Texas were dead during the flash flooding. So I'll break it down in a sec in this segment. All right, let's get into what happened with Texas and New Mexico. I will talk about the flash flood from the one train and stuff next time. All right. According to Slate, here's what's going on here. July has been the month of the flash flood. The floods in Texas were particularly devastating. More than 130 deaths, 101 people still missing, and an estimated $18 billion to $20 in damage. Those were followed by floods in North Carolina, New Mexico, which I will talk about next, and of course, Chicago and New York. I'll talk about New York in another episode. As far as the one train, more are forecast for the area, for the coming week, including in areas already hit hard. Even in places where the floods have let up, the storm isn't over. Floods can lead to excess deaths long after the actual event. Um, the health impact, the health impacts of flooding aren't just immediate. Wrote Caitlin, um, Caitlin Jetelina last week in her newsletter. Your local epidemiologist. They often unfold over weeks and months. Indeed, a recent study, found that between 2000 and 2020 across the US, there were an estimated 22,000 additional deaths attributable up to flooding. For reference, the National Weather Service estimates that there are around 127 deaths per year from flooding. That adds up to a little more than 2,500 direct deaths. During that 20-year period, these 22,000 excess deaths, on the other hand, were caused by heart attacks, strokes, respiratory disease, and infectious diseases as much as a year out from the actual flood event. Another global study that looked at floods in 761 communities across 35 countries also found mortality risk, including cardiovascular and respiratory mortality in the 2 months after the flooding event. Floods, like other natural disasters, cause emotional stress for people who have been displaced or lost loved ones, and that stress can take a physical toll. Then there's the fact that flooding can lead to mold growth in homes, in which leads to increased risk for all sorts of things, including respiratory diseases and neurological disorders. Infectious diseases can spread after a flood if overwhelmed sewage systems contaminate local bodies of water, and people who have been displaced due to natural disaster may lose access to necessary medications and healthcare. Of course, that's yeah, that sucks, man. That really sucks. I feel for the people. Um, Somewhat oddly, floods were associated with a decrease in deaths related to dementia and hypertensive diseases, possibly due to fewer diagnoses in the wake of a disrupted healthcare system or hastened death by another cause. I did hear, I did hear that there wasn't any warning alert system to basically, there wasn't any warnings. People weren't informed all about the flash floods and stuff. It's like they should have put they need to put an alarm system for natural disasters like flash floods and 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 other weather related disastrous things like tornadoes and stuff. So they need to put a warning alert system to communities, especially those especially those who live in Texas. So um, I really do feel bad for those who lost loved ones during the flash flood. And there is, which we'll talk about right here. We'll talk about that right here. So, um, and this is according to a. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second here, because I actually, are you kidding me? Hold on 1 second. um, there was, oh boy. Hmm. All right. According to CBC, we'll go with this one right here. So, a local artist who filmed the house floating past recognized it as the family home of a close friend. Residents were glued to the windows at a riverside brewery in Root 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 Hold on, let me try to pronounce this. Ruidoso, New Mexico, as a flash flood swept through town, carrying rocks and debris. Nervous chatter filled the the tap room, the tap room at Downshift Brewery, no Brewing Company, where about 50 people were sheltering from monsoon rains that caused the Rio Ruidoso to swell to more than 6 meters on Tuesday. A tentative record. The gasps, the gaps in the room grew louder as an entire house floated by, knocking down trees in its path. Texas floods showcase difficulty of predicting what severe weather experts warn. Texas officials deflect questions about preparedness, warnings ahead of deadly floods. The turquoise paint on the front door of the single story White House with brown slats were barely visible under layers of mud. But local artist Caitlin Carpenter, who was filming the flooding on her phone, recognized it immediately as the family home of one of her best friends. End quote. I've been in that house and have memories in that house. So seeing it come down the river was just pretty heartbreaking. She said, I just couldn't believe it. A symbol of flood's destruction. No one was inside that house that day. No one, hold on, no one was inside the house that day. Carpenter says her friend stays elsewhere during the summer since the mountain town is prone to flooding. Images and videos she took of the house have been widely shared as a stark symbol of the flood's destruction. Why Canada may not be ready for new reality of flash flooding and severe storms. Camp Mystics emergency plan passed state inspection 2 days before deadly flooding. 3 people at Riverside RV Park died after being swept away in the river, including 2 children. Dozens of homes have been damaged, and streets were clogged with mud and debris. Farther down the river, pieces of metal and other debris were twisted around tree trunks. Wow. Wow. man, man, this is one of the devastating stories that I ever heard for years, actually. And you know what this shit reminds me of? The time that we had Hurricane Sandy, right? Luckily, it didn't hit all parts of Queens, but it did hit an area that I never heard of before called Breezy Point. Some of the people, if I'm not mistaken, some of the people may have lost their homes. Some of them may have some of them may have died and all that stuff. So I really feel for those people, man. To be honest with you really feel for those people. You really do. And honestly, no matter how many times you try to prepare for natural disasters or anything like that, um, it's kind of hard to actually, you know, it's kind of hard to actually put everything together as far as like getting plywood, making sure you're getting some food supplies, toilet papers, and paper towels and stuff, water, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So this is scary, folks. This is very scary. So just be careful out there. And of course to the people who passed, you know, prayers are with the families who lost their homes, their loved ones. This is devastating. Very devastating. Anyway, broken tree limbs were wedged against homes and piled on porches. The water was thick with sediment, and many roads remained closed Wednesday. The popular summer destination has been especially vulnerable to flooding since last summer, when the South Park and Salt fires raced across tinder dry forests and destroyed hundreds of homes, which sucks, man. Residents were forced to flee a wall of flames, only to grapple with intense flooding later that summer. So, oh man, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to go with the heavy stuff first so I could actually get get that out the way. All right, so let's see, let's see. All right, let's get into 13 best new hip hop songs of the week. All right, so all right, so all right, this is from Double XL Mag. Week in and week out, there are plenty of brand new rap songs no matter the time of year. It can be really difficult to stay aware of what's out and also what's hot. So Double XL decided to make things much easier for you. Instead of sorting out nearly everything that was released this week, we narrowed it down to strictly the best of the week, saving you plenty of time. That's pretty dope. Um, so expect to see selections from the established stars, the next wave of new talent, the up and comers, and everyone else in between. If the song is fire enough to beat the competition, it'll take one of the weekly spots. You can trust us on this one. Follow our lead, and you'll never get laughed off the aux cord again. Your friends will finally trust you with playlists. It'll be wonderful. In addition to that, you can check back every week for the latest and greatest tracks. You'll always have somewhere to turn to each week, being sure to find some songs you'll dig. All right, so starting with Freddie Gibbs. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. Yeah, Freddie Gibbs, 1995. Interesting. All right, we have let me see. Um so his name is Yeet. Yeah, so this Yeet and BNYX's Yeet. And we have Sweetie Buffum. Can we got Young Nudies. Young Nudies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. Where's oh my god, I'm sorry. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. And no, I don't own the rights to this music, all right? So don't try to pull any stunts on me, YouTube. Anyway, Sweetie, wait, hold on. Where was I? Yes. Yeah, y'all knew these Ice T featuring 21 Savage and Project Pat. You got Trippy Reds, Woke Up, and The Face. Travis Scott's The Wizard, Rock Babies, Rap Shit, Real, The Young OGs, Great Day. Lakaya's Raw Bitch featuring Stunner Girl. Chucky's No Blick Out. 41's Poochie featuring Zeddy Will. Montana 700's Boosie Flow. Fat Max White Lies featuring G Herbo. So there you go. 13. And like I said, I do apologize. I did not mean to play whatever that song was. I do apologize for that. Um yeah. Speaking of apologies, um Nicki Minaj made a diss track to Shannon Sharp. Let's talk about that right there. Hold on. As a matter of fact, yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that right there. Okay, so wait for it. All right, so Nicki Minaj goes in on sports commentator Shannon Sharp for forgetting who she is on Lil Wayne's "Banned from No" remix. Nicki Minaj disses Shannon Sharp, which took place on Wednesday, June 11th. Weezy dropped a remix to his The Carter 6-track "Banned from No," featuring Nicki Minaj. On the track, Nicki blasts Shannon Sharp. End quote. If I send a pic of Shannon Sharp, you ain't that sharp because you still can't spell Prague, and that's horrible, Nicki raps. Wheezy F baby, and the F is for phenomenal. Why is Nicki Minaj dissing Shannon Sharp, you ask? Nicki's new diss seems to be in response to a tweet Shannon Sharp posted over a year ago, reacting to a fan saying they wanted to see Nicki on his Club Shay Shay podcast. Shannon responded, Nicki who? What does Nicki Minaj have to say about the diss? On Wednesday, Nicki posted about her diss on X. If I send a pic of Shannon, you ain't that sharp, she tweeted, quoting her line from the song, Yeah, nigga, you thought I forgot that Nicki who shit you did. Um laughing my freaking ass off, joking. Ocho Cinco almost caught a strizzy just by being around your crazy tail self. Oh man, that's funny. Is Nicki Minaj dissing Jay Z? Some people were speculating that Nicki also has bars for Jay Z on the song. To close out the verse, Nicki raps NFL fire some niggas and then call us, which could be seen as a diss at Hove. Why would Nicki Minaj diss Jay Z? As previously reported, Nicki was irate after Kendrick Lamar was picked to perform at the 2025 Super Bowl in New Orleans over Lil Wayne and appeared to call out Jay Z, whose Rock Nation company is instrumental in picking the Super Bowl performer, denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your E got you punishing Lil Wayne. Little Wayne questioned Nicki. Nola, what's good? Eminem stood firm on having 50 Cent come out. A white man shit sad. Um, yeah, house niggas teens. Um, but it's Hey, my fault, folks. I don't know what happened here. Apparently it has to do with a little bit of my internet. I don't know what happened here, but I do apologize for that particular delay. Um, as I was saying about the whole Nicki Minaj situation, this is a grown ass man who is in a lot of fucking trouble right now with that scandal, which I'm probably not going to be able to have time to get into. But I do want to go in. Um I do want to go into another another topic, but this one is related to tech. This one is related to tech actually. I haven't done tech news in a while, so I want to actually get into it. I want to get into this segment right here. It is, for those of you who may not know, this segment is called Crunch Tech Mentions. All right. This is a segment where I actually go over what's going on in tech as far as the news behind it, whether it's the phone apps, whatever it may be. I will get into it, and the reason I bring this up because it has to do with the app called Gates. All right, I'll fill you in on what Gates is about. All right, hang on one second. All right, let's get into what Gates is about. Let's get into what Gates is about. All right. Gates is basically a leading global provider of what is this? A global provider of fluid power and power transmission solutions. Recently added a universal mobile app to its ever expanding, ever improving range of hydraulic solutions. The eCrimp app builds on a previous North America focused version, adding global capability, automatic updates, and new functionality to assist fluid power customers across a wide variety of industries, applications, and geographic regions. The latest eCrimp app The latest eCrimp app provides access to a dynamic and United States hydraulics knowledge base. The same set of information embedded into the new GC20 GC20 with Gates Cortex Intelligence Crimper, which integrates the eCrimp app with Gates' newest crimping hardware. This smartphone version of the eCrimp app offers a host of new features and benefits, which includes global capabilities, select regions to see local products, save favorites, quick access to most used assemblies, live crimp specs, automatic updates when connected to Wi-Fi. Offline functionality content is available regardless of connectivity. Connective excuse me, connectivity. Connectivity. My fault. Um Data on new products refreshed via automatic updates, dynamic search capability, flexible ways to find your solution, product image library, product images, validate selections, copy and email specs, easy sharing and communication. Intelligent innovation is central to the way we do business at Gates, and safe hydraulics activities are always a priority, regardless of who you are or where you are located, said Tom Pitstick, Gates CMO and Senior Vice President of Product Line Management. The eCrimp app is the largest example of Gates listening to our customers, analyzing data from the field and the lab, and synthesizing that information to further improve our market leading portfolio of fluid power solutions. The app and our other new hydraulics products are a result of our commitment to engineering innovation, highlighting the importance of needing to easily communicate crimp um, specifications to customers. Gates recently introduced innovative industry leading hydraulics products, including Mega Mega SYS, MXG, 4K MXT, and Multi Master GMV, which all offer lighter weight, lower force to bend, multi specific specification coverage, um, for reduced inventory requirements and market leading performance. Gates also substantially expanded its hydraulics product offering, adding the Pro Series line for standard duty applications to complement the existing Meg S and Ys. Mexis, Mexis, MEGSYS. I think Mexis is how you pronounce it. Line for high power, high pressure applications. Simply put, added pitch stick. We are driving new technology into our portfolio with the eCrimp app and a significant increase in the number of new product introductions in general. We demonstrate our ability to drive continuous product innovation. The Gates eCrimp app is available now for free download. Look for the black icon in the iOS App Store or Android Play Store. And what Gates is about, Gates is a global manufacturer of innovative, highly engineered power transmission and fluid power solutions. Gates offers a broad portfolio of products to diverse replacement channel customers and to original equipment first fit manufacturers as specified components. Gates participates in many sectors of the industrial and consumer markets. Gates products play essential roles in a diverse range of applications across a wide variety of end markets, ranging from harsh and hazardous industries such as agriculture, construction, manufacturing, and energy to everyday consumer applications such as printers, power washers, automatic doors, and vacuum cleaners, and virtually every form of transportation. Gates products are sold in 128 countries across four commercial regions: the Americas, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Greater China, and East Asia, and India. You want to learn more about Gates. Um, um, Gates can be found at www.gates.com for more information on these products and all that stuff. So there you go. Um, Scissor warns about the dangers of AI to black and brown cities. This one caught my attention. This one caught my attention actually. So, according to Hip Hop Wired, SZA wants you to think very carefully about the consequences before asking Grok or any other form of artificial intelligence a question. The Grammy Award winning singer is currently the talk of the internet because Nicki Minaj has her social media crosshairs locked in on hers. Still, SZA is doing her best to pay her no mind, focus on her performances during her joint tour with Kendrick Lamar, and warns her fans about the use of artificial intelligence, which is AI. Um, there is no escaping the buzz around AI as it is being practically implemented into your everyday life, whether through your smartphone or on your favorite social media platform. Regardless, the snooze singer is still wary of its dangers and feels you should be too. She's right. On Tuesday, she took to her Instagram account to share a meme featuring the X Files character Dana Scully saying, "Yeah, I use AI, actual imagination." In the caption for the post, SZA wrote, "AI is killing and polluting black and brown cities. None of you care because you are codependent on a machine. Have a great life," per Billboard. The TDE's songstress warning about AI has truth behind it, as the push for artificial intelligence to become the norm is also fueling environmental racism. AI requires a lot of electricity and water usage, and it's already affecting vulnerable black and brown immigrant and low income communities that are already dealing with a lack of those resources. AI is um, AI is already affecting black and brown communities. Damn, damn. Um, yeah, this is some scary shit though, and I actually believe SZA, and she's right on this. Yeah. Um. Yeah, that's crazy. AI use is already affecting black and brown communities. Yeah, that's crazy. There is already a terrible example of that going on thanks to Elon Musk's AI company XAI. The Guardian recently reported that a supercomputer set up in Memphis, Tennessee by the company is already bringing pollution to the nearby historically black neighborhoods whose residents are already dealing with health issues like high cancer rates, asthma, and shortened lifespans. Wow. Wow. One of those communities, Boxton, is already suffering from poor air quality because of a nearby industrial plant. According to the NAACP, those same residents are also inhaling toxic emissions from a facility that lacks the proper permits to operate. Derek Johnson, the NAACP's president, told the New York Times, "We cannot afford to normalize this kind of environmental injustice where billion-dollar companies set up polluting operations in black neighborhoods without any permits and think they'll get away with it." Scissor is also well aware of those dangers, writing in a follow-up post in her IG stories, in quote, "Please Google how much energy and pollution it takes to run AI. Please Google the beautiful black cities like Memphis that are suffering because of Twitter's new AI system. Please just Google environmental racism. AI doesn't give a fuck if you live or die. I promise. There is a price for convenience, and black and brown people will pay the brunt of it every time." Shout out to Scissor for raising awareness about this growing issue. Yeah, let me say a little bit, a couple of things though, man. Actually, all right. First and foremost, um, first and foremost, AI is already here. That's number one. Two, it's good. It's good that Scissor is raising awareness, and I really have to say that I really do agree with her. Um, as far as environmental racism and stuff, mm, I'll have to probably look into this shit though, man. Maybe I might talk about it in the next episode. Who knows? Or the following episode. Who knows? Um. So yeah, I have to agree with her on this. So this is I have to agree with this. All right. Let's see what else. What else I have in the topic agenda? Actually, did I? Yes. So we're gonna go into. I want to go into. Let's go into some eat and drink stuff, man. So let's get into some eat and drink in another segment of munchies and drinks. All right. Let's get into munchies and drinks. I got some topics that I got to talk about here. So let's get into it right here. So the next one will be all right. All right. Um All right. Let's get into it right here. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Um. So Salt and Straw is celebrating National Ice Cream Day with a sweet lineup of surprises for all ice cream flavors. The Upper West Side location is going all out with launching their new toppings program. Is the new toppings program to debuting um, their new strawberry shortcake waffle cone. There is something for everybody to love. Salt and Straw turned National Ice Cream Day into a weekend long event with special releases um, rolling out across 3 days. Yeah, that right there. So this it took place this weekend actually. So I'm just gonna do a little recap. Gonna do a little recap here. So so the festivities kicked off with the debut of the strawberry shortcake waffle cone, a brand new cone to complement this new strawberry shortcake sundae. The sundae includes their strawberry honey balsamic ice cream topped with whipped cream and black cherries, which are to die for, says Ava, one of Salt and Straw's scoopers. And and of course, there is an app that you can download, which is Salt and Straw. Um, yeah, fans who downloaded the Salt and Straw app and entered their email receive double rewards points on that. And this took place. All right, so on National Ice Cream Day, which took place this past Sunday, customers who order in person or online get access to a digital scratch off reviewing prizes that range from a free scoop to the ultimate reward, a private ice cream making lesson with Salt and Straw co founder Tyler Malik. It took 13 years for Salt and Straw to create the perfect toppings to go with their various flavors rather than rushing the process. They carefully curated each edition. As of this week, we're releasing toppings for the first time. Salt and Straw really likes to keep focus on the ice cream and what is special about every flavor. For the first time, we branched out very selectively, Ava told AM New York. Customers can take their scoop to the next level with toppings like rich chocolate fudge, crunchy chocolate granola, sweet Marion berry sauce, candied candy cacao nibs, and juicy black cherries. Sweet Marion berry sauce. That's an interesting one. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look up what it looks like actually. So I have no idea, but it sure sounds delicious. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh man. All right. So what sets Salt and Straw apart from the average shop? Each flavor has a story behind it. So let's get into it right here. In quote, we like to celebrate the story behind the artists that make the ice cream. We celebrate local artisans in the West Coast area because we're a West Coast company, Ava remarked. Salt and Straw is able to use creameries and California cows, ensuring that every scoop is high quality. End quote. Not only do we push the bounds of what ice cream flavors can be, we also like to celebrate how the ice cream is made. While National Ice Cream Day may happen once a year, Salt and Straw does specials just like this all the time. Last December, they dropped three limited edition flavors and hosted a free scoop day where people got free ice cream if they purchased one of the new the three new flavors. The shop is constantly dreaming of new ways to surprise its fans. So if you miss this weekend celebration, do not panic. There's there is always another sweet moment just around the corner. So in other words, don't worry about the event that you missed. There will be more in the future. And speaking of more in the futures, another ice cream company y'all probably familiar with is Friendlies. Yes, the popular ice cream destination Friendlies is celebrating its birthday this weekend. Actually, it took place this past weekend. Actually, and this took place from July 18th to the 20th. Um, this is just a little recap of what happened this past weekend, actually. So I'm just highlighting for you folks out there, which coincides with Friendly's Founders Day and National Ice Cream Day. Guests at Friendly's can enjoy many different birthday exclusive offers. And quote, "We're turning 90 the only way we know how, with sweet surprises, unbeatable value, and ice cream for everyone," said Don Petit, president of Friendly's Restaurants. End quote. "This celebration is our way of saying thank you to generations of families who've made Friendly's part of their story. All weekend long, guests can enjoy 90-cent single scoop ice cream in a cone or cup, available in store or to go. Guests guests who join the Friendly's Fan Club Rewards program can receive a free cone or dish of ice cream that took place on July 20th for National Ice Cream Day. The first 90 guests at every Friendly's store will get a pair of 90s anniversary sunglasses um, that took place on July 18th for Friendly's Founders Day. And guests can also sample three fan favorite flavors in mini sugar cones. And yes, guests also have the opportunity to take the party home with a free birthday in a bag, a festive kit packed with party gear like cone head, Sunday hats, ice cream themed games, and decorations with a purchase of a 100 ounces, yeah, 100 ounces. That's what OZ stands for. Friendly's sheet cake while supplies last. Friendly's currently has 10 locations on Long Island, and if you like to learn um, all about it, for more information or to find a Friendly's location, you can visit friendlysrestaurants.com. All right, all right. So let's get into let's get into another segment right here, man. Before I even get up out of here, actually, um, and this is the video game entertainment newsroom. This topic I didn't get a chance to cover it in regards to the return of Game Informer. So let's get into it right here, right now, with this segment right here. Um, let's get into it right here. Hang on one second. right. Okay, a while back, I did cover a topic in regards to Game Informer um, being out of business and stuff, right? Well, guess what? Game Informer has made its return, and this is according to the folks from PC Gamer. Now, listen to this. After being tossed to the curve by struggling retail chain GameStop last year, long-running gaming magazine Game Informer has been revived. Last August, the entire Game Informer staff was laid off in the middle of producing the magazine's next issue, and years of online coverage were wiped from the web. The now nearly 34-year-old magazine, which for many in the US was their first source of gaming news and reviews, appeared to be toast. Today, however, the Game Informer website reappeared along with the old articles, and a letter from editor-in-chief Matt Miller reveals that not only will the print magazine also return, every employee who was laid off has come back to work. The entire team that was working together at Game Informer's closure has returned from editorial to production and beyond, wrote Miller, who first joined Game Informer himself back in 2004. The entire team, seriously, I'm still pinching myself. The surprise resurrection has been financed by Game Informer's new owner, Gunzilla. Not to be confused with Godzilla, folks. This is a different situation. This is a different breed and a different avenue. So don't get it twisted, folks. Oh shit. Oh yeah. So for those of you who may not know what Gunzilla is, basically it's a game developer co-founded by film director Neil Blomkamp, District 9 Chappie. He produces movies like District 9 and Chappie. Former Warface lead Alex Zoe and fintech entrepreneur Vlad Korolov. Gunzilla's first game is a free-to-play shooter called Off the Grid. The company is also in the blockchain business. Its blockchain platform called Guns empowers game developers with the tools to build player-driven economies by providing players full ownership of in-game assets as tradable NFTs, Gunzilla said last year. The new Game Informer owner says that the magazine will have editorial independence. In its return, Game Informer remains completely editorially independent and launches with fresh vigor in its commitment to delivering the latest news, reviews, and insights from the ever evolving world of gaming, the studio stated. End quote. I am deeply grateful for the trust and enthusiasm from the team at Gunzilla Games. They see the same potential in Game Informer as our team does, and their encouragement to do so ethically and free of outside pressure is laudable, wrote Miller. From Outside from restoring the old wet articles, the revived Game Informer has published new reviews of games released while it was in limbo, and registering for an account with the site gives users access to digital copies of more than past Game Informer magazine issues. The publishing of new print issues will resume sometime in the near future. End quote. Our intent is to bring back the magazine bigger and better than it was before, wrote Miller, and add a host of membership and subscription benefits, including an expanded scope to our videos, streaming, and feature coverage, while also broadening the range of experts and partnerships we tap to bring you those perspectives. We got 2025 games, this year's upcoming releases, best PC games, our all-time favorites, free PC games, freebie fest, best FPS games, finest gunplay, best RPGs, grand adventures, and best co-op games better together. So there you go. There you go right there. All right. In other gaming news, I want to touch on actually is this. The best games of 2025 so far. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Hold on one second. All right. Oh boy. It doesn't even wait a minute here. So this is gonna sound all right. So this week on Gamer Said, we asked you which game that released in 2025 wowed you into putting it as your best game of the year so far. There's a great variety of answers showing how 2025 has been an incredibly strong year for gaming so far. Let's see. Let's see. Hmm. This. Wow. Okay, this is it. This is very interesting right here. Okay, this is very interesting. Um, let's see. Let me see. Best video games of 2025 so far. Let's take a look here. All right, so best video games of 2025 so far. That's new. All right, so and this is from NPR. What the hell? Okay, NPR. Okay, so NPR staff members shared their picks for the best new video games of 2025 so far. Who is this? Mary Louise Kelly, host. Let's talk about video games now. We are only in July, and already there have been some great game released this year. So we've asked some of our NPR colleagues to share their favorites. First game up, an indie puzzle game called Blueprints. Um, Graham Rebhun Byline. My my name is Graham Rebhun, and I am a software engineer on the publishing team at NPR. It's one of those crazy puzzle games that always seems to have another thread that you haven't pulled on yet. You are basically exploring this huge mansion that your rich uncle left to you. And each room you open has unique activities, resources to grab, and hints and clues about how everything in the house works and how you fit into the stories that's being told through all of the letters and notes and things around the house. By the time I finished the first part of the game, and yes, there are many layers to Blueprints. I had several notebook pages filled with notes and diagrams, which for me is the sign of a good puzzle game. Okay, next, um, we're going to hear about a highly anticipated sequel from gaming legend Hideo um, Kojima. So Angel Cabrera's um, byline Death Standing 2 is a very stupid game, and I mean that in the most endearing way possible. Oh wow. Um Unidentified voice actor as character. This is the cargo you need to deliver. Be sure to get it to its destinations in one piece. It's an excellent idea to place the most important cargo in your backpack. Excuse me. Carreras, excuse me. My name is Angel Carreras. I'm an assistant producer at NPR. This whole game, people call it a walking simulator, derogatory. This is actually a positive thing. I think it's what game is going to have you think about terrain and the lives of people and the things you are bringing them. Never before have I been like, oh my God, I got to get this medicine to these people, or I got to deliver this pizza to this poor guy. And on top of that, you are fighting these like like beings that are crossing from death into our world. And it's just, I don't know, man. You just have to play it yourself. That's really all I can say. Okay, so if you are maybe looking for a game with a more epic storyline, you can try Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and Katie Klein is an associate producer with Morning Edition. And up first, it's like when people say like video games are art, I think that they specifically mean games like this. Um, you are fighting to change things. On K-Line, there's not one thing about the game that I can pinpoint as my absolute favorite, because I think it's just like perception, no perfection across the board. I think the characters are so well developed. I think the writing is so good. The art fighting, the just like everything, the story, the plot, and like I almost never restart a game as soon as I finish it. But for this one, I wiped my tears and just immediately started over, because I think there's so many things that you didn't notice your first playthrough and that suddenly have so much meaning the second go around. And I wanted to just see everything that I just missed. I wanted to see every little thing that I missed. Yeah, it's like just whatever you think the story is going to go, you're wrong. So yeah, yeah. So let me see. Well, let me see. Let me see. Let's see. Best. Damn, there's so many. Damn. So wait a minute here. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Five. Wait a minute. Five. Hang on a second. Best video games. Let's see. Um, I think I could go over the best video games for PS5 and Xbox. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Let me see this. Let me see this though. Let me see. Best selling. Let me see. Best selling game. Okay. The best selling PS5 game. Oh boy. There's gotta be more to this. There's gotta be more to this than that, man. Best new and upcoming PS5 games of 2025. Um, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. So let's see. The hell? All right, so you have okay, so best new and upcoming games of 2025 so far. So this is okay. Lord. So this is crazy. It is it, like let me just scroll through. Okay, let's see. So Hell is Us is a third person action adventure game that combines intense melee combat with the thrill of exploration. Explore a semi-open world to find answers to your questions and face mysterious creatures along your journey. And then you have what is it? You got Lost Soul Aside from Shanghai-based studio Alti Zero Games comes Lost Soul Aside, an original and super stylish action adventure RPG. When invading dimensional beings known as void tracks, take the soul of his beloved sister Kaiser must embark on a dangerous journey to face this terrifying new threat, save his sibling, and liberate humanity. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Ninja Gaiden, the legendary ninja hack and slash franchise returns, embark on a cutting edge adventure where legacy meets innovation in this high octane blend of style and combat. Return. What is this? Return to the razor sharp action that established Ninja Gaiden as an icon of the hack and slash genre, bringing its captivating style to a new generation. Little Nightmares 3, trapped within the spiral, a cluster of disturbing places, friends, low and alone, will have to work together to survive in a dangerous world full of delusions and escape the grasp of an even greater threat lurking in the shadows. Okay. Now, for those of you who may not know, this is from a website by PlayStation.com. Y'all are more than welcome to actually check out some of the games that you think is the best ones that came out so far on PS5. I will go over some games on Xbox next. So, all right. So, Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater. Discover the origin story of iconic military operator Snake and begin to unravel the plot of the legendary Metal Gear series. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater um, brings unprecedented new graphics, immersive stealth, action gameplay, and sounds to its riveting story as players once again return to the world of Metal Gear. All right, so Borderlands 4. See if you have what it takes to go down in history as a legendary vault hunter as you search for secret alien treasure, blasting everything in sight. The next installment of the iconic and beloved shooter series arrives in 2025. And let's see. Um, all right. And I did talk about Sonic Racing Crossworlds actually, and it's coming out in September. So, of course, for those of you who may not know about Sonic Crossworlds, to all you Sonic fans out there, race across land, sea, air, space, and time in Sonic Crossing. Excuse me, Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Warp through travel rings into new dimensions where something new awaits around every twist and turn. Speed to victory solo or as a team in a variety of offline and online modes and compete against players from around the world. I gotta tell you about this game, man. This game may sound similar to Mario Kart that's on Nintendo Switch 2, but this one is a little different. This one's a little different though, man. That I think the difference is the rings. The rings in this game is way different from Mario Kart. You know what I mean? It's way different, way different. Now the racing may be similar, but the other elements might be a little different. So you might want to mark your calendars for September for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I actually talked about this in episode in regards to that. Um, y'all can check that episode out. I actually talked about that as well. So yeah, I'm more than welcome to actually talk about that. All right. So let's get it. So let's all right. Y'all can check out PlayStation.com to actually find out the games, the best games that came out in 2025 so far. I want to go over some Xbox. Let's go over some Xbox, man. Like the best selling. Let me see. Let me see. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Best selling, best selling PS5 game of 2025 so far is an Xbox port. Wait, what? Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Let me see this. Hmm. Xbox port. Okay. Um. All right. So, and this is from Polygon. Let's go over this actually. Microsoft's business strategy of moving past the limitations of proprietary platforms seems to be bearing fruit this year. Based on sales numbers trickling in for the first half of 2025, so far it seems that the most successful game on the PS5 is none other than Forza Horizon 5, a former Xbox exclusive racing game that originally came out 4 years ago. According to figures shared by the Alenia Insight newsletter, Forza Horizon 5 has reached 3 million units sold on PS5, which makes it the top selling game on the platform thus far. It's followed by titles like Monster Hunter Wilds, 2.9 million, and Assassin's Creed Shadows, 2 million on the charts. Both Wilds and Shadows lead the pack for best-selling games across all platforms based on the latest numbers shared by our. which places Forza Horizon 5 in the top 20 overall. Forza Horizon 5 sales are impressive, though, when you consider that it hit PS5 in April 2025, so it's only had a few months to reach the top of the PlayStation charts. Perhaps it helped that the open world racer was recently on a 25% sale. Let me see. Forza Horizon 5 is the latest in a long time of Xbox ports hitting PlayStation, which includes exclusive like High High Five Rush, Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded. Arguably, though, the cross-platform tactic isn't a new one for Microsoft games like Minecraft are platform agnostic, but the approach has proven controversial for fans who believe in things like console wars and customers who purchase an Xbox for the specific purpose of enjoying its exclusive games. While these people might be unhappy to know good Forza sales could motivate Microsoft Microsoft to port even more titles to other platforms. The numbers also prove audiences are hungry to play these experiences outside of the Xbox ecosystem. More people playing a game doesn't magically erase any enjoyment someone might have derived from it in the past. Microsoft also hasn't necessarily ported every big exclusive on its platform um, to the PS5 like Starfield or Avowed, at least not yet. But at this point, if an announcement does come down the pike, it shouldn't be surprising. Xbox exclusive executives, has been saying have been saying for a long time now that the company wants to bring its games to as many screens as possible. It's also not alone in the strategy of releasing a timed exclusive, as evidenced by PS5 exclusives like Death Stranding, go, going multi-platform years after its original release. Plus, there are still reasons why to buy an Xbox. At least you can't get subscription services like Game Pass on PS5. But with numbers like the ones Forza Horizon 5 is reaching, the reign of time exclusives will probably continue for basically everyone but Nintendo. Okay, let's go over some best games so far in Xbox. Let's talk about that. Let me see. All right. Okay, best games so far on Xbox or Xbox 360, if you will. Yeah. Wait. Xbox 360. Let me see. Xbox Series. Okay. Xbox Series. Best games on Xbox Series. Okay. Okay. So let's get into it. So, all right. No, for 2025, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for 2025, let's see, 2025. Okay, Xbox Series, um, X games for 2025. Let's see. All right, let's do this. All right, so the best Xbox Series X games in 2025. Let's see. So let's see. We have Alan Wake 2. We have Alan Wake 2, Alan Wake Remastered, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Avowed, Blueprints, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, shit, Control Ultimate Edition. You got Dead Space, Destiny 2, The Final Shape. Um, you got what is this? What is this? Doom: The Dark Ages, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree. Next you have the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, Forza Horizon 5. Obviously, this is one of those. What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh, wait a second here. So yeah. Grounded. You have Hades. You have Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Wait a minute here. Wait a second. All this certain. Wait a minute. Certain games are. No, hold on. Wait a minute here. Certain game. See, oh, wait. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. They probably sell the games on Amazon. That's what that is. So I get it. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, we got Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Um, you have Hi-Fi Rush, Hitman: World of Assassination, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Okay, that's kind of weird. But okay. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Um, Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess, Metaphor Re Fantasio, MLB The Show 25, one of the most popular baseball games ever. You got Monster Hunter Wilds. You got Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, No Man's Sky, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Pentiment, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Psychonauts 2, Resident Evil 4, Sea of Thieves, Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance, Split Fiction, Sunder Folk, The The Talos Principle 2, Tetris Affected Connected, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yeah. So these are the games. These are the games. These are the best games that came out that came out so far on the Xbox Series games of 2025. So there you go. And I think I'm going to wrap up right here, man. I'm gonna wrap it up right here, man. Let me just yeah. Not sure what happened here, but let me just move this back a little bit. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap this up right here. All right. Um, hang on. I'm sorry. Let me just put this right here. Um, that should be better. Hold on. Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. Let's wrap up right here. We're gonna get into our last segment. Hang on a second. Let me just unload this. All right. Hang on. Okay. Okay. We're all right. Let's get into this last segment right here. I'm sorry. This last segment right here, we're going to go to stream choices on the go. This is where I inform you where you can follow the podcast on every social media platform and of course streaming platforms. And of course, let me know what you thought about the topics in this episode, and of course the video game sections and other segments, including our mass transportation in the MTA, New York City Transit, all that great stuff right there. So here it is, stream choices on the go. All right. Make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast on um, Bluesky, social, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram, alongside with my other podcast shows that I do, which is also on the same social media platform. You can also follow your host with the most, um, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. My other podcast shows that I'm going to mention that's also on there are um, my sports edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, alongside with my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. All right, and yeah, like I said, follow your host with the most, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. That's also on Threads and Instagram. Now, I'm gonna go over some stuff that's on. I'm gonna go over some stuff that's on every streaming platform that you could listen to the episodes and stuff. So yeah, if you go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/G Money Stacks 555, of course the link for YouTube is in there. So you just have to look. You just have to look through. You have to look through it actually. Um, yeah. So if you go to the link in bio, you're gonna see some streaming platforms where you could actually listen to wherever you get to listen. All right, so starting with Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a review and rate 5 stars. It helps the show grow and gives podcaster hosts like myself some confidence to create more content episodes for you folks out there to watch and listen. And of course, we are on Castbox FM, Diesel Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snip, Spotify. Please add the podcast to your Spotify playlist so you don't miss out on any new episodes that's dropping on on 3 days a week. All right. You can also listen on Spotify for creators. You can also comment on Spotify for creators as well, and tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel about the topics and all that stuff. And whatever topics y'all want me to talk about, I'll talk about it. But keep in mind, I'm not doing anything political. All right, I'm keeping politics out of this podcast. All right. All right. So, you can listen on TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists, such as R&B singers, pop stars, rappers, hip hop artists, radio stations, and of course you can listen to the the podcast episodes and podcast shows for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is follow by subscribing on iHeartRadio, along with other streaming platforms that I just mentioned. And of course, do the same with YouTube. We are on YouTube. Make sure you follow the primary YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555 for more live video podcast episode live streams. And especially press the notification bell so you'll be notified on when I'll be on the air via live stream of new episodes to record. Leave a like and a comment on the episode and the topics. Tell me how you feel about the topics in the episode today or any previous episodes whatsoever. Um, and yes, add the podcast to your Spotify playlist. Of course, you can share the podcast with your friends. Yeah, with your friends. You can also share with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work, and of course, share the Linktree link with the uh, with the stream platform links that's in there in the Linktree. Now, I want to explain something. I want to explain something actually, for you folks out there that's listening and watching right now. Now, look, episodes ago, I talked about why the SEOs thing is a scam. I talked about that, and the reason why it's a scam is just a way. It's just a way to rip people off out of out of you know their hard-earned money, and I don't want to do that to y'all. So I figured, because after I started this podcast, I wanted to actually make sure that I add the YouTube. Hold on. I wanted to make sure that I added the YouTube link, so that way you don't have to worry about going through the search engine on YouTube to search the channel G Money Stacks 555. Now, if you go to the page, you're gonna see the word live on there. That's where you're going to actually find the episodes and stuff. And yes, the podcast playlist is on there as well, so you can actually tune in and watch in the podcast section. All that great stuff right. Yeah, the podcast section on YouTube where you can watch the episodes on YouTube and all the great stuff. In case you're wondering if anybody gets lost or whatever, when you go on the Linktree link, you're gonna see the name of the podcast, and it's gonna be on YouTube. So if you scroll in, you're gonna see the name of the podcast and you're gonna see YouTube. So click on there, it's gonna take you to the page, so you don't have to worry about typing it in the search engine on YouTube. So you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I actually wanted to address this though, man, because so nobody don't get lost. So, um, yeah, you can listen in the live section. You can watch the episodes in the podcast section, the podcast playlist section. Yeah, that's why I set up the podcast playlist section for you folks out there, so you don't have to worry about getting lost or anything like that. And as far as the upcoming episodes and all that other stuff, I actually had to rearrange the episodes. I had to shuffle the episodes to different times and different days because I'm watching baseball games of the New York Mets. So that's why. So that's why you don't. So that's why you're wondering about the confusion. So there's my explanation right there. So I am trying to knock all these episodes out, and there will be a time I will be taking like a week or two off this podcast feed right here because I have to work on my other two podcasts to grow it. My sports podcast, which is my excellent fun vibrant talks podcast. I actually cover sports, including sports news and the New York Mets, and and of course my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. I have to cover that as well. So that's why there will be a time I will be taking maybe 1 or 2 weeks off on this podcast so I can actually catch up with the other episodes on the other podcast platforms. All right. So just letting you know in the future of what's going on and all the great stuff. And for future references, even though I may end up getting a new job, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. But I'm still going to actually do my podcast recordings at night. As long as I don't have to worry about doing any overtime, which I will not have to do. I don't have to do overtime, which I never had to do. So anyway, man. Anyway, just wanted to address this. All right. Now that's gonna do it for me, man. I want to I want to say my name is G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, your host with the most. And I would like to say thank you to every single one of you for listening to me and the topics and everything else in between. And of course, like I always say, man, remember the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. You have to, you have to, in order for you to get something, you have to work for it. You have to work for it though, man. There is no shortcuts. And of course, follow your goals and dreams, whatever career field you're trying to do, whether you are a TV producer, whether you are a director, whether you are a filmmaker, whether you are a radio personality, podcaster like myself, independently, whether you are um, whatever career field you're trying to do, don't let anybody stop you from doing what you love to do. Um, and of course, if you are planning on starting a podcast, there's no right or wrong way into hosting your podcast, and there's no right or wrong way into doing your podcast. So don't let anybody tell you how to run your podcast, right? And and of course, be yourself behind the microphone while recording your podcast episodes and the topics you'll be talking about. Be on your P's and Q's creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually that get you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. And and of course, man, I will be back with more topics to talk about here. Tune in next time. Tune in next time in the next episode. I will be discussing what happened with Malcolm Jamal Warner, um, the It's been a passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. I will be filling you in on some TV accomplishments that he did, the interviews that he did, including the Breakfast Club, and I actually heard that he did an interview with Melissa Ford on Hot and Bothered podcast. I never had a chance to listen to that podcast because I've been so busy trying to grow 3 of my podcasts. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned for that. I will be coming back with more topics, better and better and better. All right. Peace and one love. And I will be back on the flip side. Stay liquid, stay cool, be on your P's and Q's, be confident in what you do. Very important, man. You know what I'm saying? Be consistent, be productive, and of course, and of course, do something that makes you smile, that helps your mental health. All right. I hope y'all have your air conditioners, your water, and your Gatorade with electrolytes ready for another round of a heat wave, which is starting tomorrow through Saturday for 3 days. All right. I'm ready, and I know you out there are ready too. So, all right. I'm out of here. Peace and one love. And I'm actually glad that the New York Mets already won their series against the Los Angeles Angels. So I'm happy about that too. I'm out of here. Peace. Good night, everybody.